Life album if it wasn't for Man and Babe.
Life, I mean like a little bit, then Thug Life like a lot. These is my Thug Life niggas, and we finna do this like this. While I roll a blunt, y'all finna talk, you know what I'm saying? Thug Life. What Thug Life, baby? The craziest Thug Life, nigga. Thug Life. Crazy. Yeah. Okay, who we got right here? The niggas, just, you know, they introduce themselves. All right, sir. I'm Killer B. All right. I'm Man. M-A-N. I'm Psycho Maniac from the Evil Mind. Evil Mind.
What up, though? This your boy DOC, and I got Babez on the line.
Doc, what's going on, man?
Chilling. How you been, bro?
Oh, I'm cool, man. I'm cool. I'm fair.
It's good to tap in with you. You know, for a lot of people that may not know, I played a quick clip at the beginning of this video where Big Syke was doing the interview, and he said it wouldn't be no Thug Life without Babez and Man. So this is actually Babez on the phone. So what we're going to do is kind of paint like a timeline, a picture of a timeline, along with some of the questions that some of the people that's on my IG asked they wanted him to know. We're going to paint a picture of his life meeting up to Tupac, everything all the way until when Tupac left and moved to LA. You know, but you know, like my first question I want to ask you, just to kind of start off and then we'll go back. I want to know when you first met Tupac, the Thug Life album wasn't even thought about, the concept, no songs were done or anything towards that?
No, not at all. When I first met Tupac, he was, it was prior to him actually doing the Tupac Is Now album.
Okay.
When I initially met Tupac.
Okay, that's what he was working on?
Yeah, I was like in first, laying steps to that.
Okay. Now, prior to you meeting Tupac, before y'all first met and everything, like, what type of stuff did you have going on in your life? I know last time when we did an interview, we kind of didn't talk about any of that stuff. It was little bits and pieces in there. Like, what type of things were you into?
Oh, well, man, I was like living the Richmond experience, man. I was in the drugs, selling the high volume of drugs in the street. Hustling, had a few girls in the street, just doing whatever can get me some money,
right.
Whatever can get me some money and coming up and having a good run of it, man,
And what years would you say this was in? Like the late 80s, mid 80s, or 90s? Well, I come into the streets in like 86, like into the, selling drugs and everything like that, into like full time selling drugs, like probably 86, and after that it's just following Man. Right. Actually, whatever he did, I wanted to do. So whether he get a paper out, give me a paper out. You want to get in the street, I'm getting in the street. Right.
But yeah.
No, I'm listening.
No, but I'm saying Man didn't want me to follow him so closely because I was like the wild type. Like I might do something to trigger something that wouldn't happen if he was by himself. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So Man is actually like your older cousin?
Yeah. It's my older family, man.
Okay. So like what would you say was the turning point in your life, like that actually made you even go into the streets? You know what I mean? Like that pivotal time, like if you say like around the 3 months time, like maybe you were just a kid playing around, going to school, but like what things was going on in Richmond during that time that made you actually go over into the streets?
Well, that period of time, you had to belong to somewhere. I mean, or, people mistreat you, and shoot, in one instance, somebody stepped to me and I had family from where I'm from, but I wasn't hanging with them all like that. I was only like probably 11, 12, 13, anywhere from that age, whatever, but they confronted me and I was like, and they confronted me because I had been seen with my family from elsewhere. So, then from right there, I was like, I might as well go over here where it's at. And when I got over there where it's at, other things was going on. And I started liking those things more than, I belong because by default, I belong. I just hadn't been outside yet. Into the game,
Right.
But once I got out there into the game, man, I just flourished, man. I was already, like I say, by default. Everybody knew me, everybody know my family. you know, and like I say, following behind man. So, you know, that was my identification right there, you know.
Right.
And, you know.
Now, you know, when we kind of spoke off air, we kind of briefly, I was like in our last interview, you had mentioned a couple of times how you have became a changed person and put certain things down, and you were saying a lot of your actions and the way you were looking at things back then was due to you know, drinking and stuff. Like, what do you feel like in your life actually caused you to start like drinking heavy? It's, you know, as you was in the streets.
Well, man, early off, as a young teenager, probably about 15, 16, 17, man, me and my road dog, you know, was wild out there. You know, it was calling us the children of the corn. So we was doing everything to promote that label, you know what I mean? We was out there jumping on people, you know, shooting people, or whatever, you know. Finally, one time, me and my folks, you know, we jumped on somebody, and the dude came back and killed my folks. So, you know, then I was like, dang, you know, like misplaced, like, you know, and went off, you know. And then, you know, I was, you know, like I said, everybody around the whole Richmond had love for me. So everybody was like console me and, you know what I mean, and bring me up. And, you know, finally somebody took me under their wing and was like, you know, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You weren't supposed to be doing that anyway. You know, and put me on a straight and narrow with some keys, with some bricks. And imagine when somebody's 16 years old or, you know, 17 with bricks. You hear me? I mean, there's no exaggeration.
Right.
And from right there, you know, it was on, man. And shoot, you know, the game caught up to him. You know, caught up to my folks.
So, so the guy that put you on, he ended up the same one that said you wasn't supposed to be doing the other stuff when your first This dude, he ended up getting killed.
Yeah. Like in success, like 88, this happened. 89, this happened. Like, you know.
Yeah. Was he
so? I mean, yeah, to whatever effect it went down, you know, it's a lot of mysteries and the histories on that. But, you know, you know, from like, I didn't even drink at this point. Like coming up in school, I'm quite sure you familiar with people like drinking, maybe at the park or smoking weed. I didn't smoke weed or drink. I just got money. I didn't smoke weed or drink to this point. And that's hard to believe who I had became. I mean, I never went beyond weed, like, as far as being on coke, heavy drugs, but I made it such a disaster of what I was doing, drinking and acting a fool, that it would be hard to believe. But, like, during school, I didn't even drink or nothing. I wasn't square. Whatsoever. I was fast moving, but I didn't drink, you know what I mean? I smoked weed.
Right.
But, you know, but I was like an outgoing dude, funny dude, you know, talk about people, like people to talk about me, you know, just outgoing, you know, and, but a serious dude, kind of like, you know, and shoot, I lost that. And see, when I lost that, I had to, you know, fill that void with something else.
Right.
And so I guess alcohol, like, you know, kind of bridged the gap. The alcohol also did something else.
Right. So in between losing your road dog and then the partner that ended up putting you in the game, is that when you end up like having a closer ties to your cousin Man, or was y'all still dealing with each other, you know, tight then?
Well, we was like, me and Man have always been, I mean, since birth, like, you know, so, but we've always been associated around each other. But like I said, my folks put me down and all that. Man was already down. Man always had dough.
Right.
Man always, you know what I mean? Man always, you know, but then, you know, I branched off into my own route because, like I said, I was just like that. You know what I mean? I was ambitious like that. So I went in that lane, and once my folks got hit, that like kind of brought me closer to Man. Like, yeah, that brought me closer to Man. You know, shoot, got the apartment. You know, me and Man moved in together, got the spot. You know, just, you know, shoot, like that. You know,
right.
That was it.
So this is kind of jumping, but I want to know, you mentioned Mike Cooley. Was he around during this time, or you met him later on?
Well, I met Mike Cooley probably when I was about, 8 or 9 or 10, anywhere from that age. You know what I mean? Mike Cooley's been around for ages. You know, Mike Cooley you know, he's always been from the neighborhood. He's all, you know, Mike Cooley moved from, I believe, Oakland or Santa Rosa like a long time ago, and he was like used to hang around the neighborhood with this guy that stayed next door to man.
Right.
And you know, shit, he started noticing the fast moving that was going on while we was doing next door with man house. You know, we'd be over there dancing, you know, roboting, rapping, you know, everything was going on at man house. Man's house was the house. I mean, the hood. I mean, everybody from the hood was man house. Been through man house. So Mike Cooley, you know, came over there, and with that, Mike Cooley brought new like things from other places. You know what I mean? Mike Cooley was like a hip dude too, an older dude. You know what I mean? Mike Cooley always had a car, either, you know, his own car, his brother's, his mother. You know, he's always get out the hood with Mike Cooley. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know.
So you just briefly mentioned, you know, besides like the work that you had out in the streets and stuff like that, that you had a few women out there on the street making money and stuff. What do you, like during that time, like what is your mindset, or at least say for instance, if you was putting yourself back in them shoes back during that time and you dealing with these women and you putting them on the streets, was they coming to you looking for a way to make money, or was it like, okay, you gonna get out here and make this money? Like, how do you?
Well, no, and you know what? Like I said, I more than anything, I was a hustler, man. Mm-hmm. Back then, I had bricks. Anybody who listened to this right here, and they know I ain't lying. Back then, I had bricks. Them girls just came as a result of what I had, right. And they was doing what they was doing before they came. You know what I mean? Okay. So they came along with what I had going on, so I went along with it. Right. Because I kind of needed the heat off me, because I was like a hot dude too. Due to like certain stupid stuff I would get myself into. So you know what I mean?
When you say get the heat off of you, so you saying it was like to look like it was pimping rather than
not look like it was pimping. Actually, give me some money. Like right. You know, pay some rent or you know, right, or whatever. Shoot, get my car together. Right. You know, right. And I make it look like it, you know, but really to put the sack down. Right. You know, put the sack down. That's why I'm saying that was the divide. Like when me and man, you know, when man was into the Pac thing and everything, you know, I was elsewhere, you know, doing every stuff with other characters, you know what I mean? Yeah. That was into the stuff I was doing.
So basically,
you know,
so this time it's still getting closer to the time before Pac moved out there. So basically this was the beginning, or, you know, during the transition of the money that was getting put up, that would have ended up funding the first album. So let me ask you this. When do you remember the very first day that you end up meeting Pac, and like who did he come out to, you know, the Bay Area with?